Welcome to another beautiful episode of Sped Every Day. This is your girl, Bolatito Fatoki. I am so glad to be here today. And I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers and to the old ones for sharing the video, and making other people learn from it. And I want to assure you that Sped Every Day, it's not just a platform for you to learn, but I am also learning from it. I want to appreciate all your suggestions, your comments, and thanks for liking my videos as well. Today, we're going to be talking about setting goals for our children, for individuals with exceptionalities. What are these goals? Why do we need to set goals? What does this child need? Why are goals important? We're really going to be breaking down on why goals should be set for these individuals and what we need to be able to execute these goals and to see results in our kids. First, I want to ask us the questions. What are goals? Why are they needed? Can I just write a goal? Do I need anything to be able to write a goal for my child? If your child is of school age, definitely the teachers in the meetings would have been communicated to on what you need your child to know or what the child needs to learn. And I know it's a back and forth communication. But some of us are not so lucky because we live in a country where these are not available for us. And which is why this session is important. So my first question was, what are goals? Goals are direction. They give us direction for instructions on how to help develop our kids so that they can attain or reach their fullest potential. If we don't have a goal, we don't have something to earn. So how do we know what is needed or what we're tracking? How do we know if a child has achieved progress or not? It's a different thing if I know my child needs this, or my child does that, or my child cannot do this. But what do I need to be able to set myself on that standard, to be able to give that expectation and to be able to track it? It's by setting a goal. And before we can set a goal, because I can't just wake up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to set this goal. We have to have reached that level. And what is needed? I need to know the present level. I need to know where this child is. Not just in strength, in weaknesses. Not just in academics. How about in behavior? In skills? What adaptive skills comes easy for this child? What is he missing? And why this is important, why we need to know the present level, is because what your child has at that particular time that you're trying to set the goal may be very important to go to be able to build the goal, to be able to set that goal. For example, I'm trying to set a goal for my child in the area of communication. Where is my child at right now with communication? Can he speak it out? Can he say it? Or no, he cannot. Like, we need to know so that when somebody comes to your home and they need to help with your child, they already have that information. They already know where your child is. So in setting a goal, I would say it is important. The number one thing is to be able to identify the very present level of your child in every area that the goal is about. And not just that, especially in other skills, because these things build on each other. So when we fail to do that, it may be tough for us to be able to achieve or accomplish these goals. I want to say, for example, if I'm trying to set a math goal and I want my child to be able to add or subtract, I already want to say, okay, my child will be using the calculator, but I need to know, is he capable of even punching on the calculator? Or I want to know, does he know his numbers already? So goals is not just taking it from the top. We need to work with that where that child is at. And importantly, when we're setting goals, we need the goals to be SMART. When I say SMART, I mean SMART. SMART. What does it mean for a goal to be SMART? S, it has to be specific. The goal has to target a particular area. Specific. Not this way, that way, come together to do this. If I'm talking about addition goals, in what area? If I'm talking about communication goals, specifically to what? Is it my child relating to others or my child receiving it? So the goal has to be specific. Then it has to be measurable. That is the M. Measurable. What do I mean measurable? You want to be able to set the goal in a way that you can see, you can observe, so that you can know if this child is improving or not. So that if the child is improving, you know what to do next. If not, you know what to do. You need to be able to measure it. Can I weigh it? Can I measure it? Is it obvious? Like if I look, I know that, okay, this is trackable. So when we're setting goals, we shouldn't just make it abstract. We shouldn't just make it like something that cannot be seen. We have to be able to understand that it's something I can see. It is measurable. And it is attainable. A. S, specific. M, measurable. A, attainable. Can it be achieved? You know, you can't say you're setting a goal and the child is not able. We know we need to be true to ourselves. Is not able to achieve that. This doesn't fall under achievements, or like you don't expect more from your child. No, but there are some goals that we know as individuals taking care of these children that it's not attainable, and we need to be sure that this goal, it can be achieved. It is attainable. It is something that can be worked on. Or if worked on, this child will be able to get it. Then they are result-oriented. Can I say result? Because you know, when you want to reinforce, when you want to give feedback, when you want to reteach that goal, how do you know it? It's with result. So is this goal result-oriented? So that when you try to applaud that child or give feedback, even the child knows, yes, I got the result. You know, because it was achievable. There's a result. I tracked it and it achieved it. So we need to ensure those goals are like that, and then time bound. We can't just set a goal, even as individuals, and just believe, okay, whenever it happens. We need to have a time as at when. Because time bound doesn't mean that, okay, when it doesn't happen, then no. You know, you want to know, okay, I was able to give the goal to a specific time, so that when that time comes, you want to see where you are. You want to know if to modify it, if to withdraw it, or if you still need to add more, or to work around it. But you need to be able to give a time. It's just like us trying to prepare for an exam, and you need a time. I'm studying for the exam, but how much time do I need to study? So this keeps us on track. This helps us with our schedule. This helps us with our routine. This helps us even with a child. Then I need you to know that when we're setting goals, we should not just stay on the big picture. Because the big picture can be too large. That's we want to get to the sky. But how do we get to the sky? And that is where the objectives comes in. So we have our goals, what we're looking at in the big picture, maybe within a year or in 6 months, depending on short term or long term. But to get to those goals, how do we break it down? And that's where we have objectives. Objectives that ensure that the goals are broken down into steps. And these steps has to be concrete as well and measurable. So, I need my child to be able to complete an assignment within a given time period. This is a child that has never even completed assignment. But I need, okay, for example, I want to achieve this in 10 minutes. How do I get from 0 to 10? Do I go from 0 straight to 10? Never works. So what steps do I need to be able to achieve this goal, the end goal, so that I can remain at that result when it's final? Because objectives will make you, it will pace your child so that from this level, we get into this level. You got it acquired, the next level, then to the bigger picture. So we need to be able to say, okay, these are the objectives. This is how this goal is broken down to achieve the end result. I want to be able to look you in the eyes. Should I start teaching from looking in the eyes straight like that? No. I may start with just initiating conversation. Start from this level. Look me in the nose first. From the nose, can you move forward? So we want to be sure that as we're making our goals measurable, we are breaking them into concrete steps, the objectives, for this child to be able to achieve them. Another important thing when setting goals for your child is you need to understand, does my child need any modification? Does my child need an accommodation? Does my child need something, an assistance or an assistive technology? Is my child lacking an adaptive skills that would not make it possible to be able to achieve this goal? Excuse me. We need to ask all those questions within ourselves. And if our child can communicate with us as well, we need to sit the child down. And most times, we need to also talk with the other people supporting our kids, the other professionals around our child. Because if you miss this, they may know that. If a child is of school age, we need to talk to teachers. If possible, talk with friends. What do you notice? Family members. So that when you're doing all these things, everybody is consistent and at the same goal, like at the same pace as you. And then if your child needs a kind of modification or accommodation to be able to reach that goal, you already have it. So that your child will not get into that skill of learning the skill and is stuck. So mind you, at the same time you're trying to build these goals and objectives for your child, you need to carry this child along, especially when they need additional technology or additional assistance to be able to achieve these goals. So your child needs to be aware that, okay, while we're doing this, this will be used. This will be used. And not just this will be used, but you need to teach those things needed first to avoid frustration in the execution of those goals or in achieving those goals. So that we need to be aware. And your goals, like I said earlier, you need to know what you want to address. You need to know what your child already know, what you want your child to know. And also, you need to be able to know if the goal is measurable and how do you measure the progress. Do you want to measure progress every day? Is that realistic? Do you want to build measure progress in a week, every 6 weeks? You know, if you're doing this at home for yourself, you want to know how soon do I want to measure so that you personally would not be stressed out. So if you don't see it today because you started working with your child today, You already know we have a time frame. I know when I'm expecting and what I want to see in the next 6 weeks. So don't overwhelm yourself thinking, okay, I have a goal, I have the objective, but I'm not seeing result. So pace yourself out, pace your child out, and communicate the intention with your child. I would also want to say, the end result for this is we want our child to be able to accomplish or achieve their goals. While we're doing that, very important, we need to know what the next step is. Because for some kids, these goals, if we have a plan for a year to achieve these goals with broken down objectives, for some kids it may come before 1 year. Where do we go from there? The transition. Or if it doesn't happen, what happens after that? So we need to be prepared so that when it comes, it doesn't just eat us hard and we're lost in the middle. You know, for these children, you want learning to be a continuous process. And for learning to be a continuous process, it means that you are ready for the next stage. If it goes this way, what do I do next? What's the next thing? If it goes the other way, what is the next thing? So meaning importantly, setting goals is not just about the now, it's about the plans ahead. And if these goals would even, translate or transition, what will it translate to in the future of this child? What will it help this child to accomplish in future? Specifically when we're talking about the adaptive behaviors, counting money, grooming, self-care, brushing the teeth. So we need to know, okay, when he finishes learning this, what's next? So, and ways to be able to know that is that when your child is working on a particular goal, you're looking for what is missing. You're watching out on what you can build on what skill you want to teach. Because, okay, I'm trying to work on brushing my teeth. Now I notice my child lacks coordination. How do I help my child with coordination? So we need to be able to observe when they're doing that. So from one goal or from achieving a goal, we're already watching and we're already catching what is next. And this is important. So like I said, when it comes to special education caregivers, I'm telling you, organization, we put a lot of time into this because I know it can be time consuming. Parents, caregivers, it can be time consuming. It can be a lot of stress. It can be you seeing result today and it's changing tomorrow. But one thing I want to leave you with today is that even though all those can be, let's focus on the positive. Let's know that we're doing it not just for us, but to give our child that convenience as much as possible. And then to put us in a state in our life where we know that we did everything to be able to help our child to attain and reach their fullest potential. If we don't try at all, we never can know. But when we try, those little moments of praise, of progress, of doing something we never expected them to do, those little moments, they mean a lot. Not in only our lives, even if your child cannot express or communicate it, they see your joy. They see how you do when you see those achievements, and they appreciate it. So parents, let's not hurry up trying to force the goals and trying to make it work. Fine, we have a standard, we set expectations, but let's just remain consistent with what we want to see in our kids. And again, for a little recap, today I talked about setting goals for a child. What goals her? What is needed in setting the goals? What do we consider when setting goals? And that was when I talked about SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, result-oriented, and time-bound. All those are needed, 5 of them, in order to be able to set the goals. And I mentioned the first thing that is very important in setting your goals is knowing the present level of your child. whether in academics, functional skills, or even in adaptive behavior. So we need to be aware of those things to be able to build our goals. And I said, it's a different thing it's another thing to have a goal set for, a period of 1 year, but we need to break those goals down in measurable and concrete steps. And that was when I spoke about objectives. And also we need to state in our goals what a child needs to be able to achieve these goals. Do they need any extra accommodation or modification? Do they need any extra services? Do they need to work with an expert to be able to achieve these goals? Are we the expert? Are we going to hire someone? Do they need therapy? What do they need to be able to achieve these goals? And then I said we need to understand that in setting the goals, we need to be observant when they're working on their objectives to be able to know and identify what is going to be next after they achieve that goal. Or maybe there are times that you may need to eliminate that goal to, accommodate something that will be like a prerequisite to be able to work or move on with the initial goal. Because if we missed something in their present level and then we realize that they are working on the goal, then while working on the goal, we notice that they don't have a skill to be able to achieve some part of the goal. It's better for us to step back, take care of that skills first before we move on. And that is what would lead us into transition. So at the end of it all, they achieve the goal. What is our plan? What is next? As caregivers, we need to be able to know that. Ready. And not just ready, we have to make sure all these things are written down. Because parents, life happens. There are times we may not be there, but if it is already set down, it will make it easy on the next person. If somebody needs to help with that child, it will make it easy with that person, or the individual, or the expert, to even make it easy for you to be able to track and have a record of your child's progress. I want to say thank you for watching my video today. I look forward to you sharing and subscribing to the YouTube channel. And if you have comments, observations, suggestions, I'm in this to learn as well. Please kindly email me spedeveryday@gmail.com. And I look forward to another beautiful episode for you or with you next week, Friday. I hope to see you then. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good day. It's your girl again, Bolatito Fatoki, Sped Everyday. Bye.